G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. We are back for season 2026 and the tipping is back in a big way. Looking forward to seeing how I go throughout season 2026, and to be honest I cannot tell you where I finished last year, but probably about mid-table if I'm fair. But it's a new season, let's see how we go. Let's get stuck into it. So we've got the first game coming up in round 0, opening round, whatever you want to call it. We've got the Sydney Swans hosting Thursday night. They have got Carlton, the Kerno show, the Kerno flag, the Kerno Cup, rather, not the Kerno flag. Sydney finished off the season pretty well late into the piece. And the Blues, well, yeah, they had a tough season 2025, and it's kind of got a little bit worse with a few players moving on as well, but a couple of trades as well. So let's see how that all pans out. I don't think their record at the SCG bodes too well, and the Swans seem to beat them up there a fair bit. Kerno's on the Swans side this time, so that's going to make life a little bit more difficult. I think, yeah, they're going to be cherry ripe to right the wrongs from last year. Home ground, Carlton, don't know if they've taken a couple of steps back to go a couple of steps forward, or a step back to go a few steps forward. Feels like that. Leaning towards Sydney here. I reckon 28 seems like a decent margin for the Thursday night clash, the season opener. Moving on to Friday night football, we have Gold Coast and they are hosting Geelong at People First Stadium. Home ground advantage for Gold Coast here. Their season finished up against the Brisbane Lions. That one was at the Gabba. In the semi-final, they went down after getting the job done week 1 over... Got to think which team they defeated. Fremantle. There you go. They beat the Dockers. The Cats went down in the big dance. I think it was about 8 goals, but the margin definitely floated Geelong late. Had a really, really good season. Just weren't able to finish off their work at the end. And Lions, yeah, Geelong seemed to face dynasty teams a fair bit. Anyway, moving on to the actual game itself, leaning towards Gold Coast here. Geelong seemed to struggle going to either Northern Territory or Gold Coast to win of late. They absolutely demolished the Cats. I think it was in 2024, actually, where Gold Coast won. Was the biggest score under Scotty ever conceded. And I think, with some acquisitions, Petrarca, Ugelhagen, I think they'll be looking very menacing. I just think, Geelong might get a bit of a lesson in the midfield. But I hope I'm wrong. Or do I? I don't know. We'll wait and see. Saturday, we've got a couple of games here. We've got GWS and Hawthorn at NG Stadium. We've got the elimination final rematch, which will be, very enticing. GWS have a fair few out of their side, and quite interesting to see, the numbers swaying heavily the way of the Hawks. Giants say, their season finished up in that elimination final, and Hawthorn's finished up in the preliminary final against the Cats. Went down by 5 goals, but I'm going to go the Giants. Don't know. Their early season form, I know they've got a fair few out, but they find a way, even when they've got a fair few personnel out, they seem to defy the odds. I've seen it before where they've come down to Geelong, they've got 8 or 9 players missing, and they still find a way to win. So, sometimes they are able to just find a gritty win. I think, it's really important they get off to a good start. Don't know. Just a weird feeling that I've got. So I'll go GWS. Then we've got Brisbane. They are hosting the Western Bulldogs. That one will be at the Gabba. Brisbane unveiling the flag there. 2025 premiers, back-to-back premiers. Immortal at the moment until proven otherwise. They're the team to beat. They're the team to chase. The Western Bulldogs had a really good home and away season at times. Really good percentage. Just didn't quite cut the mustard late in the season to fall into the 8, which was pretty hard to do. Has to be said. It was a bottom 9 and a top 9, essentially, last season. This is tricky. You would expect Brisbane at the Gabba to get the job done. That's probably the percentage play. I'll give the Doggies a slight chance, and look, I'll tell you what, Look, I'm going to go Brisbane. I was going to go the Dogs, just with Brisbane having that extra short prep into, season 2026, especially off the back of a couple of premierships. But nothing seems to really phase them. Against all odds, they seem to find a way. Do expect the Dogs to be quite the team this year. They should be on the up. But yeah, I really wanted to go the Dogs. But unfortunately, I've gone into the home team there, which I might regret. We'll see how we go. But I don't think too many will be tipping against Brisbane at the Gabba, so it's probably a safe call in the end. Be very speculative to go the Doggies' way. Moving on to the final game of the round, we've got St Kilda, and they are facing the Pies. St Kilda, they didn't finish finals, but they have brought a fair few acquisitions into their side with De Koning and just trying to think of who else. Liam Ryan's come into the fray, and as well as Jack Silvani. I don't know the health of every St Kilda player or any team really at the moment. Barely know what's going on with Geelong, but they'll be tougher to beat. More depth, more talent on the radar for them. Then we go over the Pies, who, again, an amazing 2025 season, but fell short to the Novak Djokovic of the AFL currently. Might be Alcaraz soon. He might be the new Djokovic in town. All right. So what do I think is going to happen? Well, I know I'm semi-aware the Pies injury list is fairly significant. I'm sure they'll have some players back into the side. But yeah, we're gonna go towards St Kilda for this one. So it's a bit of an upset, I guess. If I'm tipping an upset out of these two, look, I'll have to go St Kilda over the Dogs. But yeah, both sides will definitely present their challenges. So I've gone all the home teams here, which is great. But as we can see, the percentages aren't necessarily in favour of the Saints and the GWS Giants. So potential upsets there. Yeah, I just think with the Pies injuries and a couple of handy inclusions for the Saints might give them the upper hand there. Nasai Wanganeen Miller, I can barely pronounce his name at the moment, but Naz, I'll just call him Naz from now on, will certainly provide a good spark for them. And yeah, maybe catch Collingwood off guard early in the season. And you'd expect, sides that potentially may not feature in that sort of top 8, top 4 can catch you off early in the season is when it's probably most likely going to happen. But yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Well, I've gone the Swans by 28. GWS after Gold Coast beat the Cats. Brisbane and then the Saints to round out opening round. And that's who I've gone. Guys, feel free to join the tipping competition. I'll chuck the link in the comments and chuck it in the pinned comments for you guys to see. But always interested to see who you've picked for the weekend, who's your upset of the weekend. Let us know your thoughts down below. Really intrigued to see. Guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching listening in, whichever way you're consuming. I really appreciate it. Subscribe away, like the video. It all helps. So, yeah, thank you very much. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.